Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jen, and this is Views from My Backyard. We're going to have another back porch chat today. Lovely, happy July. It's beautiful out today. It's not supposed to rain for the entire weekend. Looks like it's going to be a nice hot one. Just typical 4th of July weather, they say. I wanted to make a video talking about something that I am interested in trying. I was scrolling through YouTube last night and I saw a video from a lady talking about a no spend challenge. And I guess if you do a no spend challenge, you kind of make your own rules. And I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to do, especially the way things are now. Everything is more expensive, and other than necessity things that you need to spend money on, such as gasoline or groceries, trying to reduce your spending, that's something that I find to be very important to me. I'm somewhat living paycheck to paycheck, which makes it pretty hard. And when I don't want to do something, I'll tell people I'm on a pretty tight budget, which pretty much means I don't want to spend money on that, but I'm willing to spend money on this over here. And I guess the thing is, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if I don't want to spend money going to a bar, whereas I will spend money to go to a music festival and buy a few things for that. It's really all about what I want to spend money on and not what other people think I should do, which I find I struggle with a little bit. I mean, how many times can you say, "Oh, I don't have any money," or "I'm on a tight budget," or this or that, when half of the time it's I don't really want to go out. The other half of the time is I don't feel it's important to spend money on that. So, this no spend challenge I found was interesting, and the person was saying, you kind of want to make your rules and figure out what you're spending money on, where you're spending the most of your money, like such as what stores you're spending the most of your money on, and making a list of everything that you spend money on. So, like, what I would do would be, say, my last Amazon purchase. My last Amazon purchase, I bought 2 items. One was a $25 item, and the other, think I think the bag of zinc oxide was around $20. So, keeping track of not only what stores or platforms I spend money on and how much each item is, I think that is a good place to start. I'm already doing a budget where I have an Excel spreadsheet, and I list off my income for the month, and then I have everything almost categorized down pretty well as far as what I'm spending money on for the month. So I'll have the electric bill, the cell phone bill. I'll have what else do I have? I have gasoline. I have like five lines listed for gasoline, and groceries. I've got at least 4 lines for groceries, so that I can pretty much keep track of what I spend. But I also have lines for things such as entertainment. I have a line for Pandora. I have a Pandora subscription of, I think it's $5.99 a month, just to not get commercials. Audible, things like that. I have pretty much everything broken down as to what I spend money on. Trash, um, fuel, like as in for the house, firewood. I have that as its own separate line, so I can keep track of how much I'm spending for all those things. But when it comes to something like if I'm spending money for a category that's like other or something that's entertainment or Amazon, breaking those down into actual items that I've spent money on, I think that's going to help me, and that's gonna be my first step in the no spend challenge. I am definitely not going to not spend money on anything because that is just not feasible. I have to go to work, and in order to go to work, I have to put gas in the truck, plus I need to eat. So, you know, I'm not gonna eat the dog, which he's fortunate for. So, there's things like that, and then I also have to think, what do I have coming up? I have, a vacation in July that I'm taking, a short weekend vacation, and then I'm also taking one in August, and I'll need to spend a little bit of money on some things for that because 'cause I'll need to make sure I get some extra food. I'll probably bring my own food for the most part, but there are a few expenses that are gonna be extra. But I think my main goal as far as the no spend challenge is I think what I'll start doing, um, what this other YouTuber had suggested was make a list. I'm already making a list of, what all the money that's going out every month, but keeping track of, what it's actually for. So like if I go to the dollar store on my lunch break and I buy toilet paper and then I buy some snacks or something like that, or then I go and buy, like, some cute little ornament for my garden, keeping track of those kinda things, I think is going to be a big help to see what things I really need, what things I don't really need, and, where, look at the thing and say, "Well, did I really need to buy this or did I not really need to buy this?" So that's gonna be my first step for preparing for this no spend challenge. And it'll be interesting because I feel like every month there's always is something that's happening, and I had planned an entertainment budget where I forget how much it was of my, what percentage it was of my take home pay. I split everything up as, like, major bills, or all my regular bills were this much, and then there was savings, and then there was this much for entertainment and things like that, and I think I had come up with either, um, 50 to $100 a month for entertainment, which, it's nice to go out and do things, but I don't necessarily need to spend money when I go out and do things other than, paying for gas to get somewhere because I don't necessarily need to go in a store and pay for water or pay for drinks or food because I could bring that stuff myself. So I'm going to start looking at those kind of things and what I can do and break it down to where I'm actually writing down the items that I'm buying, other than, say, normal groceries. If I go to Walmart and get, like, I wanted to get some more stuff to seal the deck, that's somewhat of a necessity because I do want to keep up on the upkeep of my home. It's not necessarily like it's not like I'm going and buying a bag of candy, which is not something that's necessary, or going and buying things like j- things to have for the garden just to have. It's something that is going to have a function that I'm going to be using. So I've got to determine where I'm going to cut the line as far as what I'm going to be paying for and calling a necessity, and what things I'm going to say, well, I don't need new wind chimes for the garden, or I don't need one of these nice painted thingies to hang in the garden just because it's pretty and I like it. So that is what I'm proposing to do over the next couple months. It's, because I already have some vacations planned in July and August, because I already have vacations planned in July and August, I'm not going to cut back on I'm not gonna go overboard what I'm spending on those, but I'm not going to try to do a no spend challenge when I know I'm gonna be going somewhere and I'm gonna need to spend extra money on gas, or, if something happens on the road, I've gotta get something, or if I don't have enough food that I bring with me, I might have to go buy some somewhere. But as far as going and buying random things on these vacations, I'm gonna try to limit that, which I've found limiting to a certain amount is a good thing. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be doing, and I will keep you guys updated on how that's going. I thank you for coming along with me, and I'll see you next time.